Всем доброе утро, рада вас видеть. Тони, доброе утро. Что я хочу сказать, что Priority Token как-то раз были партнерами моего мероприятия Crypto Shark Club, это еще было в прошлом году, и компания показала своим примером, как можно за год, даже за полгода сделать огромные шаги по собственному развитию. Тогда компания была в начале пути, а сейчас у ребят уже столько много офисов и достаточно профессиональный, даже сказать, очень профессиональный подход к делу. Что могу сказать? Сама я занимаюсь пиаром долгое время, и организовав свою, так скажем, клубную тусовку в Москве, могу сказать, что у каждой страны, у каждого города есть своя какая-то история, которая собирает определенное количество людей и помогает им между друг другом взаимодействовать. Это самое главное, потому что именно комьюнити в истории с крипто, истории с блокчейн очень важна. Это имидж, это доверие, и очень быстро становится понятно, какой проект действительно нужный, а какой проект действительно не очень нужный, потому что все мы уже имеем какую-то экспертизу. Поэтому очень хорошо, когда эксперты собираются в одном месте и делятся своим мнением. И сейчас абсолютно верно нужно заметить, что рынок находится на таком уровне развития, что формируются правила и остаются только сильнейшие игроки. Поэтому я хочу, чтобы каждый из вас получил сегодня интересную информацию и действительно не просто послушал рассказ Тонио об инвестициях, а изучил, что же действительно интересно инвесторам, какие новые направления, на что они смотрят в первую очередь, выиграет ли ваша команда, выходя с новым проектом, и на что вы должны обращать внимание, потому что это действительно важно. Все-таки инвестор – это тот человек, который прежде всего думает как о собственном заработке, так и о дальнейшем развитии отрасли. Это нам всем интересно. Спасибо. А моя вечеринка состоится 2 августа.
Так, спасибо, Оля. Пару слов еще скажу вводных, потому что у нас вроде бизнес-завтрак, а завтрака нету. Просто машина проколола колесо по пути сюда, и он будет чуть позже. Но мы начнем, я думаю, и позже уже тогда все там организуем, и вы сможете попить кофе, чай и там, перекусить и так далее. Немножко расскажу о нашей компании Priority Token. Мы компания, которая базируется в UK, головной офис в Лондоне. Также у нас есть офисы в Сингапуре и Москве. И осенью мы собираемся открывать еще офисы в Гонконге и в Дубае. У нас большой коллектив, многие присутствуют здесь. Буду рассказывать тогда вкратце о наших услугах и сразу говорить, там, кто чем занимается. У нас здесь есть Александр Ключевский. Он занимается white paper. Это, как он себя называет, это архитектор ICO. Архитектор ICO, да. То есть он может взять бизнес и превратить его в крутое ICO, там, проработав токеномику, написав white paper, всю документацию и так далее. Также мы занимаемся фандрейзингом по всему миру, но преимущественно в Азии, в Китае, в Корее, в Японии, в Сингапуре и так далее. У нас есть отдельные ивент-менеджеры. Здесь присутствует Дарья. Где Дарья? Если что, там по ивентам у нас, кстати, листовки есть там по ближайшим. В Лондоне и в Азии у нас также тур намечается в августе. Вот. Также мы занимаемся маркетингом, полностью там, промоушеном, продвижением проектов по всему миру, также локально на рынках Азии, в Китае, Корее, Японии и так далее. Вот. И еще хотел бы сказать пару слов о нашей платформе ICO. ICO-платформа Dashboard для сбора инвестиций. Это платформа, куда инвесторы там регистрируются, проходят KYC, получают кошелек, там считают бонусы и получают возможность инвестировать. У нас есть небольшая презентация. Запускаем, со звуком будет? Без звука, ну, в общем, дашборд. Это полностью настраиваемая, многофункциональная платформа, в которой есть практически все функции, которые необходимы для проведения ICO. Это и встраиваемый KYC, и баунти, и распределение токенов, и гибкая настройка бонусов, и промокодов, и всего, что только можно. То есть мы постарались доработать предыдущую, которая у нас с прошлого года платформа работала, учесть все нюансы и опыт, который мы получили с работы, после работы с клиентами. Вот. В общем, и самое главное, мы дешевле конкурентов, причем намного. То есть это реально так, можете сравнить. Если кому интересно, мы там вышлем КП со всем описанием подробным и так далее. Вот о чем я говорил, то есть там легко интегрировать и смарт-контракты, и KYC и так далее. Причем у админа есть очень большое, скажем так, поле для маневров, для различной настройки всесторонней проведения ICO. Там можно даже вручную токены рассылать, там, токен-холдерам по каким-то заданным параметрам, и airdropщикам, и баунтистам, и так далее. Что, впрочем, очень удобно. Вот. Дальше я хотел бы передать слово Антону Пушкову из Legal, Сколково Legal. Он расскажет о своих услугах, которые направлены на легальную поддержку, полностью упаковку ICOs с точки зрения Legal. Спасибо.
Привет, ребят. Да, доброе утро, утро понедельника. Разрешите, я тогда представлюсь. Я управляющий партнер Сколково Legal. Это дочерняя компания фонда Сколково. Может быть, кто-то был у нас. 2000 стартапов, которые здесь в Подмосковье в замечательном месте развиваются и растут. И также я работаю в РАКИП, это Российская ассоциация криптовалюты и блокчейна, я член наблюдательного совета. И мы помогаем сейчас здесь в России налаживать регуляторику по регулированию рынка криптовалюты, блокчейна и, конечно, ICO в том числе. Но что греха таить, если вы начинаете проект по ICO, вам нужно думать о том, как его упаковывать, возникает большое количество юридических вопросов, вы понимаете, что тренд мировой, вообще общемировой тренд к тому, что у нас правительства начинают гайки закручивать, и у нас требования к проектам по краудфандингу становятся все больше. Поэтому вопросы legal и compliance — это те вопросы, которые вам нужно задавать на самом первом этапе, и если мы с вами разделяем весь наш процесс на пресейл и основной сейл, да, то есть основной токен сейл, на пресейле нужно начинать с создания компании. Создание компании — это очень важно, иначе, если вы начинаете принимать средства, да еще в фиате, на личные счета или, извините, в рюкзаках и сумках, то у вас возникает личная ответственность. Пожалуйста, не надо так делать. У нас были очень нехорошие прецеденты. Поэтому нам нужна компания, где мы отвечаем только стоимостью наших акций в уставном капитале этой компании. Компанию мы выбираем с вами среди тех стран и юрисдикций, где страны у нас вводят крипто-френдли и поддерживают проекты. Ну, у всех на слуху, наверное, Сингапур и Швейцария. Если кому-то интересно, я смогу потом рассказать, какие плюсы и минусы каждой страны. Сейчас Мальта приняла пакет законопроектов тоже по крипте. Он вот-вот сейчас уже подписывается. Непонятно пока, как он будет работать. Так вот, создание компании — это очень важно. Дальше вы будете работать со всеми вашими адвайзерами. У вас будет баунти-компания. Это тоже имеет смысл юридически грамотно оформить. Вы будете работать с вашими white-пейперами, one-пейджерами. Если вы ориентируетесь на рынок США, то вы знаете, что мы должны будем с вами сделать файлинг в SEC. Те, кто слушал мои выступления, знают, что мы это умеем делать. Вообще отличительная особенность нашей команды, у нас 40 человек, это юристы-международники, в том, что мы проходили файлинг в SEC уже не раз. Поэтому если вы собираете саккредитованных инвесторов в США, если вы готовы поставить для них 6-месячный локап, а как правило, это 6-месячный локап будет, потому что вы раньше на листинг на бирже просто не выйдете, мы делаем с вами 100% US-compliant ICO. Если это кому-то интересно, также подходите. Если вы собираете платежи в фиате, то вам нужно будет сделать лицензию Electronic Money Institution. У меня не так много времени, я не могу про это рассказывать, но если интересно, тоже в кулуарах вам подскажу. Если мы с вами делаем гэмблинг, то есть офшорные юрисдикции, где можно сделать гэмблинг-лицензию. Если мы с вами делаем KYC и AML сами, а мы можем это делать, также у нас на это примерно себестоимость $1 за каждого инвестора. Короче говоря, не забивайте себе голову. Если у вас какие-то вопросы юридического характера, подходите, подскажем, расскажем. Цены у нас разумные, потому что мы здесь работаем для того, чтобы ваши проекты были успешны. Спасибо большое.
У нас еще один спич от компании Red Stats сегодня, перед тем, как мы уже подойдем к основной части. Прошу Николая Тимофеева, он расскажет о своем сервисе аналитики крутейшем. Так что прошу.
Добрый день, дорогие друзья. Меня зовут Николай. Я директор департамента аналитики компании Red Stats. Давайте буквально в 2 словах расскажу, что это такое. Это аналитическая платформа, большая аналитическая платформа, которую мы принесли на рынок ICO из крупного бизнеса. Ранее мы занимались, и занимаемся до сих пор крупным бизнесом, то есть и полгода назад обратили внимание, в принципе, на ICO рынок. Что это такое? Это система, казалось бы, сквозной аналитики. Таких систем много. Это система автоматизации маркетинга. Это система, которая умеет автоматически обновлять данные по вашим посещениям, доходам, и самое главное, расходам. Система, которая считает автоматические коэффициенты и, более того, выдает автоматические рекомендации. Здесь у вас канал работает плохо, здесь у вас канал работает хорошо, а здесь его можно немножко подкрутить. Вот вам рекомендация, оптимизируйте, пожалуйста, свои рекламные кампании, и вам будет счастье. Как это работает? Для начала мы берем и на самом деле простыми 2 действиями маркируем абсолютно весь трафик, который существует на и вашем сайте, и на площадках, которые вы присутствуете. Начиная от тех же самых листингов, сайтов, возможно, у вас есть email рассылки, возможно, какие-то партнерские истории, например, с баунтистами, там контент-истории с YouTube. Все дело маркируется. После чего все это попадает, что называется, в ДВХ. Некое датахранилище, в котором все эти данные форматируются под единый, так сказать, технический стандарт, склеиваются сквозными идентификаторами, что важно, мы к этим идентификаторам через пару минут вернемся, агрегирует эти данные на некой платформе, как раз на ДВХ, и выдает BI отчеты. BI — это Business Intelligation, если расшифровывать. Если расшифровывать по-русски, то это удобная визуализация больших объемов данных, потому что данные на ICO-проектах всегда много, они большие. Что получаем в итоге? Значит, в итоге получаем обновляемые дэшборды, которые склеены по любым показателям, любым характеристикам. Они полностью интерактивны, они полностью, в них можно проваливаться в любую меру измерения, так называемый, кому интересно, расскажу отдельно. И вполне себе мы сами можем настроить автоматические коэффициенты, которым нам интересно считать. Дэшборды представляют себя в виде конструктора, и, например, там здесь мы, пожалуйста, там можем вывести себе диаграммки, если хотим видеть динамику, хотим линейную по датам, если хотим видеть динамику в датах. Самое удобное — это табличное. Казалось бы, все просто. Дата, доход, стоимость, ROI. Однако есть один маленький нюанс. Мы доходную часть берем напрямую с блокчейна. То есть мы точно знаем, какая транзакция пришла откуда и прошла какой путь. Что мы имеем дальше? В итоге мы проваливаемся в любой отчет. Например, пожалуйста, страны. Хотя мы любим по городам смотреть. Мы умеем по городам смотреть. Проваливаемся дальше в браузеры. В конструкторе накидываем те или иные цели, которые нас интересны. В основном это транзакция. В основном это даже не транзакция, а даже средний чек. Проваливаемся еще ниже, вплоть до мобильных, десктопов, таблет, планшетов, вплоть до, собственно говоря, тех же самых разрешений. И, к примеру, выделяем один, отчеты все интерактивные. Опа! А вот здесь мы много денег потратили. У нас куча страниц регистраций, всего 8 регистраций. На самом деле дальше можем накрутить транзакции и так далее, все это дело в отчет повесить. И оказывается, верстка не работает. Скорее всего, на этом разрешение. И такого рода отчеты строятся на любых мерах, любых измерений. Хотите клики к показам, к транзакции, хотите площадки, а хотите смотрите путь, по которому идут до вас транзакции. Да, кстати, мы специально изменили название каналов, мало ли. Мы любим хранить данные, не разглашать их. То есть, например, пожалуйста, у нас путь источника 1 Google, там пришло 108 транзакций, а доходную часть к счастью, скрыли. А вот, например, 2 клика через SEO рейтинг принесло столько транзакций. А, например, куча Гугла, это ремаркетинговая история, судя по всему, 13 транзакций. И в итоге, загрузив данные по расходам по всем своим источникам, хотя в большинстве своем они цепляются автоматом, вот, вы вполне себе видите, какие источники у вас работают. First клики в первом клике привлечения, в last клике, тот клик, который влияет на решение заинвестировать, и все, что было между ними. Вся история с пиаром, листингами, рейтингами и так далее, и все это удобно читается. В итоге мы можем посчитать пресловутый ROI абсолютно по любым показателям до транзакции, что очень важно. Опять же, потому что не знаю, почему на рынке принято считать до регистрации. У нас был один маленький кейсик. Мы увидели клиента, у него было 1500 регистраций с Индии. Он вваливал туда сумасшедший бюджет в пиар, там, не знаю, в медийку, еще в кучу каналов. А транзакция оказалась всего 2 штуки. Вот, кейс, кстати, реальный. И что мы предлагаем? Мы, с одной стороны, предлагаем нашу систему, естественно, систему сквозной аналитики и автоматизации. Мы, конечно же, предлагаем, точнее, это уже в пакет, конечно же, обучение, конечно же, внедрение. Выстраиваем вам функциональную отчетность. Это та отчетность, которая на самом деле нужна вашим подрядам, вашим маркетологам, вашим людям, которые у вас на проектах работают на местах. Выстраиваем управленческую отчетность, это больше для руководства, это руководители подразделений, шеф вообще SEO и SEO, чтобы он понимал, чего у него в плюсе, чего у него в минус, как у него идет распределение бюджета и вообще на каком он свете находится. В системку можно загрузить список сотрудников, раздать им права, кто чем занимается, и выставить KPI, на основании чего считать бонусы. И самое важное, что мы даем, мы всегда к нашим клиентам даем персонального аналитика, потому что такого рода проекты в бизнесе, они всегда внедряются очень плохо, потому что они внедряются, они работают, но никто не знает, как ими пользоваться. Поэтому мы всегда не просто какое-то сопровождение, аналитик смотрит ваш проект, он анализирует, он с вами связывается, дает рекомендации, говорит: ребята, обратите сюда внимание, обратите сюда внимание. Вот здесь вот у вас хорошо, здесь можно смасштабироваться. Например, как с изосканом те же самые, многие считают, что его нельзя смасштабировать. Можно. Ну и также и по расходным частям. Вы здесь тратите слишком много, здесь у вас слишком низкий ROI, а здесь вы вообще вылетаете непонятно куда. То есть в трубу. Вот. Если коротко, спасибо. С вами был рад остаться. Да, если у кого-то возникли вопросы, я думаю...
Да, короткая Q&A-сессия,
да, буквально там
вопросы.
5-минутка вопрос-ответ.
Микрофон.
А чем ваша система отличается, или там какие-то преимущества есть перед тем же, допустим, Google Analytics с его пакетом 360? И сразу тогда второе, допустим, при интеграции, в течение проекта у вас появляется второй рекламный там, или очередной рекламный канал, не бесплатный, и как вы ведете учет этого канала? То есть это отдельно или возможно интегрировать?
Отвечаю на первый вопрос, чем это отличается от Google аналитики. Аналитики 360 – это платная версия Google аналитики. Вот. Они, конечно же, все знают, потому что у нее первый чек $300 000 за нее, причем в месяц. Если я не ошибаюсь, мы в сотни раз дешевле, это раз. А во-вторых, ни одна из существующих бизнес-систем сквозной аналитики и вообще аналитики в целом не умеет смотреть в блокчейн. Нету таких коннекторов, нету систем подключения, закрытые протоколы, начиная от того же самого. Да, есть вариант, в то же самое Росстат загрузить все это дело руками, но вы будете каждые 15 минут это грузить рекламы? Нет. Автоматический парсер там, к сожалению, по API не подключишь от слова совсем. Еще? В блокчейне смотреть транзакции. Вот. Большинство считает ROI до регистрации, потому что регистрациями ограничивается последняя точка как раз в классических системах аналитики. Больше смотреть не получается. А смотреть в транзакции, сколько там было эфирчика. А еще более того, есть очень классный функционал, еще есть дэшбордик один, я его не показал. Сколько еще эфирчика осталось на том кошельке, от которого зашло. То есть это больше для отдела продаж. Вот это не умеет ни одна система. Вот. И, к сожалению, было бы отлично, чтобы их было больше. Второй вопрос о подключении новых каналов. Есть определенный интерфейс, куда вы просто вводите свой логин, пароль, название канала, и система ест его сама. Это в плане, она грузит оттуда расходы и начинает промаркировывать трафик. А агрегация непосредственно самого трафика, оно происходит автоматически, потому что, не скрою, мы тоже тягаем данные из того же самого ГА первичные. У нас есть ГА, собственный счетчик, мы метрикой тоже не брезгуем. Вот. Чем больше источники данных, тем лучше, аналитика точнее. Вот. Как-то так. Но каждую транзакцию мы с вероятностью 99,9% склеиваем с конкретным путем, как этот трафик шел. Еще вопросы?
Видимо, нет. Спасибо. Есть? Секунду, я микрофон, да? Секунду. В микрофон.
Здравствуйте. Как вы связываете клик по рекламе какой-то с конкретным адресом в блокчейне?
Знаете, на самом деле, не люблю говорить, но достаточно легко. Есть 3 метода, которые мы используем. Об одном расскажу. Он общедоступный, о нем на самом деле на определенных кругах много информации. Нас всех давно посчитали. Мы все имеем уникальные идентификаторы в этом мире. Наши мобильные устройства, наши компьютеры, ПК. И независимо, стоит у вас Tor, стоит VPN с Тором, поверх еще Tor. Вы все равно промаркированы большим нашим братом в виде Гугла, Яндекса и всех остальных такого рода ребят. По этому идентификатору, грубо говоря, по идентификатору куки, у вас есть куча онлайн-данных, которые вы можете по этим уникальным идентификаторам связать в цепи. Но, с другой стороны, у вас есть блокчейн, это блокчейн-данные. Но в момент, когда у вас происходит либо регистрация, либо посещение на сайт, которое оставляется, либо там срабатывает либо пиксель, либо человек регистрируется просто, забрав из личного кабинета этот идентификатор. Да, кстати, мы практически все личные кабинеты, которые к нам приходят в проект, мы их немножко переделываем, это важно. У нас есть точно такой же идентификатор связки e-mail, адрес кошелька. А дальше парсер уже бегает, мы разворачиваем собственные ноды, и у нас с одной стороны уникальный идентификатор, со второй стороны уникальный идентификатор, цепь готова. Но эта штука работает где-то в 45% случаях, а вот есть еще 2 метода, о них, к сожалению, умолчу.
Все, спасибо. Похлопаем, да? На этом у нас первая часть вводная подошла к концу, которая была на русском языке. Дальше на английском. Надеюсь, все знают, да, английский? Если нет, то мы дадим наушники с синхронным переводом. Шучу. Просто пересаживайтесь тем, кто знает. В общем, я тогда даю слово Виктору и Тони. Они дальше продолжат, собственно, разговаривать на те темы, ради которых мы сегодня здесь собрались, а именно инвестиции из Китая.
Доброе утро. Hello, everyone. So, we now switch to English. Hope it should not be any problem. So, first of all, please let me introduce Tony Ling. Please give him a very big applause. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
So, and please, Tony, if we just start, I'd ask you to introduce yourself and how you came to blockchain. And what's your attraction and what's like your main strategy for your business now?
Okay, thank you all, and I'll introduce myself for a short time. I'm Tony Ling, and I am the the management partner of the Fiat Capital and the co-founder of BitBlock Capital. And also I have a Zhejiang University Blockchain Association for students and for alumni to raise the relationship in blockchain area. And I invest blockchain since 2015 and have some research on that for some business model of Bitcoin and trade. And now I mainly invest in the ICO, or in China to be exact, it's private sale. Yeah. Thank you.
Good. So you've come to Russia for the first time.
Yes.
This is actually, I know it's your second day in Moscow. So, what kind of business opportunities are you mainly interested in Russia?
Actually, I'm interested in all opportunity and connection in Russia. I'm very interested in making a very deep connection with P token, and hope there will have a great cooperation. And also, we want to promote our relationship in Russia. Maybe token funds, maybe projects, maybe marketing agency. Yeah, I'm open for that. I still think it's a very, very big potential for Russia project, Russia token fund, and the Chinese funds to combine and coordinate. Yeah, so yeah, I'm here to listen to your project and your token funds plan, and hope there will be more cooperation.
Yeah, excellent. Just a brief question to the audience. How many ICO projects are present here? Can you please raise your hands? Yes, a few. Okay, so you'll have an opportunity to talk to Tony after we finish our fireside chat. So let's now talk about China and ICO. And if we just start with some regulatory framework, so we know that ICOs are actually banned in China. So does those restrictions really make your life more complicated? How you actually arrange all investments, how you find projects in China, and actually, do you expect that these regulations could be softened or could be reduced in some short time from now? So please elaborate on that.
Okay. For the regulator thing, I think it's very tricky. Actually, it's two sides. Regularly, in China, it's banned for ICO and the crypto exchange in China. But actually, China has the biggest market for the cryptocurrency and blockchain area. And China has the most, not ICO, we tell it private sale, or actually it's ICO project in China. It's like that we do it underneath, right? And the government cannot hold us very tightly this time. But it's also, I think, very bad for this, not regulation, actually they ban everything. If so, actually everything is illegal for us to invest in tokens, and they issue the ICO, so there will be much more scanner or some behavior that is not good and control the market. I think it's not good. So I really hope that the Chinese government can lose the regulation. They may give some legal, maybe passport or anything else to help those Chinese projects to be mature, or the blockchain area, I think, will be ruined in China.
Yeah, I see. But actually, have you ever heard of any cases when ICO organizers in China or organizers of some events promoting ICOs in China were legally prosecuted, or it's more like a threat from the government?
Yeah.
Any criminal cases?
Actually, I just remember there is a conference in Shanghai in April. Yeah. Maybe Shanghai is one of the biggest cities in China, and there will be some foreign projects. I remember there are also some Russian projects came there, and some Chinese projects to give some representation. And the government, the policemen come and tell you, stop it. The conference, you need to go. I think it's very bad, and for some foreign projects. They do not know the Chinese market. They will just say, oh, we will have some ICO, we will have some cross sale in China, and we will raise money for how much. But it's not very great in China, and it will, if you want to do presentation in a very big conference, that will maybe trigger the government's regulation. So. Also, it's always the case that we Chinese projects only share the ideas or give the presentation about the blockchain technology, but not just tell them the fundraising thing. That's it.
Yeah. I guess we've done, several events in China, and every time our hosts ask us to pretend that this is like educational educational panel, so not fundraising but educational panel. So it's always like this, right?
Very critic.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so if we now talk more about investment side, like my first question could be very general, but anyway, how come that actually so many Chinese crypto investors came to the market, and still I think that like if we combine mainland China with Hong Kong and Singapore and Taiwan, altogether they make more than like 50% of world investment in ICO. Yes. So actually, why is it so? Why Chinese investors are so interested in token sales and ICOs?
Actually, it's the situation for Chinese economy. From maybe several years ago from now, the Chinese government has a very great control over the financial things. And for our Chinese people, these 10 years, most of people get very rich and more rich and more rich. But they have very little approach to investing in some very good project. And the blockchain comes. And they say, oh, I can invest in tokens and it will rest very, very quick. And yeah, the tokens, it seems like we can earn a lot of money. We can invest in that. So it's like that Chinese people have the great interest and great potential to invest in the projects. And that will triggers the someone like me, the agency investor, to come here for the investing in the blockchain area. And the individual investor, they will also come to us to seek for some opportunity to invest in projects. That is the case. So for now, I think maybe there will be more than 500, even more token fund in China. And most of them, actually all of them are a bit illegal. And most of them are very small and, just control the very small proportion of the market and introduce some of the projects to the individual investor, but they can still make money. Yeah, that is a very tricky thing.
Interesting. So those like 500 funds you've mentioned, are they normally like very independent or they more want to work like in investment syndicates or like in syndicate?
Syndicate, yeah.
And geographically, actually, so other than Beijing and Shanghai, which other like places in China would you think that like most popular for crypto funds to establish?
Actually, I think 4 cities in China are most popular for the blockchain area. Beijing, the capital of China, Shanghai, Hangzhou, and Shenzhen. These 4 cities. And I think Shanghai is mainly for the traditional finance, but for the blockchain investment, it's still a very early stage compared to the other 3 cities. And I live in Hangzhou. And now I always come to Beijing. I really recommend Hangzhou for the government, the province government really support the blockchain technology. And they even raise a government fund, which is about 10 billion yuan in China, but actually they do not raise such money in actual. But it shows that the government support a lot for these tokens and blockchain projects. And also for Beijing and Shenzhen, there will be much token fund, Chinese token fund and projects is there. And I just said that many token funds in China, they want to do syndicate investment. Maybe in one project there will be 20 or even more token funds to invest in. But for me, I think I will do it by myself. I want to lead others to invest in. That's why I also came to Russia, and we have some approaches in America, in Europe, yeah, in Singapore. Yeah, we have a broad approach. But to be honest, I think maybe at least 80% token fund in China, they always follow those big funds to invest in some blockchain project. Maybe follow me.
Yeah, that's very interesting because just like 2 weeks ago, I went back from San Francisco from Blockchain Economic Forum and met a lot of investors from China. And 90% of those investors, they said they would not like to take a lead role. They went to San Francisco to find out the projects where like Pantera Capital invested or where Blockchain Capital invested, to invest in the same projects. But when I was started talking to them, that like, guys, can you like, we have some projects on a very early stage, and like, are you interested to be like a lead investor with some very like special preferences? They said, we'd better wait. We'd better see others take in a lead role, and then maybe we will invest with less bonus, but it will be safer for us. So I think your approach is quite unusual for Chinese investor.
Yeah, it's quite unusual. For these days, especially in secondary market in China, it's always that there will be some market value administration, some control over the secondary market. They will just hold the price and try to increase the price. I think it's not good, but it's always the case. Maybe, for example, some funds, if they invest in some projects, when the projects just firstly be listed on the exchange, they will do something to push the price up and up. And that will be a little more less risky for those funds. I mean, the 90% of funds to follow those big funds and invest in maybe the second round, maybe the third round come in. And if they are listed on the secondary market, there will be some inner information, and it's untransparent, and they were told Yuan, and okay, you can sell it some time, and do it simultaneously, and they will sell in a reasonable or good price and make some profit. That is always the case. But I think, as I judge that in the next 3 or 4 months, the Chinese will lose the restriction for the blockchain project. Maybe Chinese will give some legal, some advanced
framework.
Framework on the exchange. I think this certificate will not exist very long.
Yeah, good. So you've invested yourself in those some projects. Can you give examples of 1 or 2 projects where you made the best return on investment so far? So, and actually, how much?
One of the projects I want to mention is also a Russia project. I'm very honored to invest in that project. It means credits. I think some of you may heard about this project. It's a Russia project, and I sell it for 700% profit. It's a very good project. But for now, I think it needs to go further for their technical thing. It's one of them. And the second one for a Chinese project is super node of EOS. And it's raised very, very little capital, and it's sales high, so we got maybe 10 times of the profit. And this is a very tricky thing I want to introduce in the following. I just say everywhere, maybe in Russia, in America, and Europe, project, the entrepreneur wants to give a very high hard cap in ICO. They tell me, I want to raise such amount of money I need this for the operation costs. I need maybe $50 million, maybe $40 million for the next 3 years or 4 years. And it's a very large hard cap. But in China, things not that. They will raise little in the first market and to control the price in the secondary market, and it will show a very huge increase for the price in the secondary market. That is always the case. They always will raise maybe less than $10 million in China. So that is always the Chinese individual investor think. They will judge that project firstly by its hard cap. If it's large, they will think, this has a not very good potential for the price or the value increasement.
Good. And by the way, you mentioned credits. How did you find out about them? So they attended some of the meetups in China. So what was your source of information about the project?
From LinkedIn, actually.
From LinkedIn?
From LinkedIn. Yeah. They firstly want me to hold the community management and some PR promotion in China. But that time, actually now, I have 3 companies. One is for my token fund, and the second is for our community management company, which can provide some services for operation community in China and help them to broaden maybe the approach. Yeah. And the third is for a media company, which helps us to broaden the relationship with those big blockchain media. Maybe you know the 8BTC, the Jinse Finance is our very famous media in China, and we have a ally or union for those media company to come live for provide some services for posting. Yeah. So actually, that time in credits, we also provide some services for credits to enter into China, and I use my resources to help them to be listed on several exchanges in China, and I think it was very good for the maybe in the beginning the 3 weeks, and it holds the price, and the price goes up and up. Yeah, that's very great for credits. And still now, I think it's 3 times and 4 times revenue compared to the private sale.
Great. So Tony, can you speak a little bit how you actually make your investment decision? So which investment criteria are you applying to the projects? And normally, how much time does it take? So when you see the project and you think that it might be interesting for investment, so between the time you first see the project and you make your actual decision to invest?
Actually, I need to match the Chinese condition for the blockchain, what the individual investors think about the project. So maybe some of the projects I look upon for maybe America, for Europe, for Singapore, that will be good in its location. But I do not think it will trigger the interest of the Chinese investor in China. So, firstly, I will just judge maybe, of course, the white paper for some of the business model. I really care about the token economic model. That means I do not want any project wants to do the fundraising thing with the token. Just want to do the fundraising. I mean, I think the token it may be distinguished in Russia or anywhere else that for the utility token and security token and some other functions. But in China, I think these two combined there's no much standard for different tokens, and individuals will just think the tokens should give them profit and have some utility. So I really care about this economy model for the token. If you only want this token to do the fundraising thing, and only the security token or only the utility token, that will be hard to trigger the Chinese investors' interest. That is one thing. And the second, for the team, I want the team to be a little entrepreneurship for struggling a lot. The Chinese market, for blockchain market, everyone is very struggling. Everyone is worked very, very hard, maybe over 100 hours in a week to go for their projects or investment. So I hope maybe in Russia, the project here can be something like that, to striving for their community, to enlarge it, and to do the fundraising, and can help a lot.
Yeah, good. So can you actually think of some guidelines for the Russian projects? Some of them are present here, Russian ICO projects, who know nothing about China, who know nothing about Chinese investment culture, who have a very good product, who have very good team, and who have sufficient budget. But what exactly shall they do in order to approach Chinese investors like you or your partners, if they start from absolute beginning, actually from scratch?
Firstly, you can find me. If I want to help, you can help me. I can help you to enter into the Chinese market. Okay. To be serious, I think you need to understand the Chinese some culture or marketing things. It's like, I'll take an example. Some Russian projects I met before, they want to list their information on the ICO website in China, and they want maybe put some advertisement in China. But for me, I think it's a little inefficient. You know, for some ICO websites in China, there's very less people will come to that and invest in ICO. Most of the projects in China are always do the fundraising thing by WeChat group and by some approach that will be syndicate from some big agency, some investment group. And always, if you can have a very influential Chinese advisor, and they will help you to do the fundraising thing and help you to increase the promotion, increase the influence in China. And I think that is a good way to do that. And for the technical thing and for the business thing, I just recommend the project. Maybe they can, you need to give a little more discount for the Chinese base round investor to let them in, and they will help you a lot. For I just thought there are so many projects in everywhere that they want to be a little maybe fair to all of the investors. But if you do not have the approach, and if you cannot raise the help from some Chinese big investor, the agency investor, it will be hard for you to enter into the Chinese market. It's what I think, yeah.
So if we speak about the ratio, normal ratio between like institutional investors and crowd. So normally, for example, if a project is raising like 10 million US, how much would you expect to raise from crypto funds, and how much from the general public, from the crowd?
I think it will be great for 30% for the agency and 70% for the individual. And you need to, I mean, if you want to only raise money, I mean, maybe $10 million in China, or maybe $30 million everywhere. But for this 10 million in China, you need to let some approach to help you to do the syndicate. You cannot just tell some Chinese guys, oh, you need to raise the community and let them to invest in directly. That will be a little inefficient and may not increase the influence in China. I think so. And the 70% individual investor, I think most of them will follow the big investor, agency investor, and follow some even media. Some Chinese blockchain media, they have their approach for the fundraising. Okay, so are there any estimates how many people overall in China, like individual investors, invest in ICOs, like hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, or like millions? Any ideas, any estimates? For ICO, I think it's millions. Millions. Yeah. Actually, it's named an ICO, but it's actually private sale in China. I think it's millions. And in China, there will be 12 million people have been in the crypto investment. I know I have some relationship with Huobi exchange, the biggest exchange all over the world, and in China. They told me they have about 12 million people registration in their platform. So I judge that for nearly everyone in China, if they invest in cryptocurrency, if they invest in ICO, they must open their account on Huobi exchange. So I judge maybe 12 or 13 million people that has this insight for investing in cryptocurrency. And maybe 40% or for 50% or 30% of them will directly invest in private sale. And others will only do the secondary market trade. Yeah, this figure is very big, of course, and enormous. Big. So then you mentioned that you also have business helping ICO projects to do the community management and PR in China. Yeah. So can you
elaborate more on that. So my question is, first, like, what should an ICO project exactly do in order to be successful with the targeting the community? Because I understand that it's very different from the global community management. And second question, any ideas on the budget, actually? So how much, for example, company wants to raise, I don't know, 5 million US in China. How much should it like invest in this, in community management and PR in order to be like successful in terms of coverage of people who are potential investors?
First, you need to persuade maybe me or any other agency investor to help you or invest in you. And maybe some advisor will be needed for this. And you can do some private sale, or you will also maybe I'll help you to be in touch with some media in China and let them to firstly give some promotion or the posting in China, and let them to help you, also may help you to engage some WeChat group to let more Chinese guys be involved in. I think that is the first step. And for the second, I will recommend that you come to some conference, better with some Chinese guy, Chinese advisor, which can have some influence, to some and be in touch with more funds, more token funds, and let them to invest in. I think is the second step. And for the third, that time, and you can maybe open a KYC or whitelist and let some approach fundraising group to raise the money from WeChat group. And that time, I think you need to put more budget on the PR, even the community promotion. For me, I just help a project. First I invest in, and then I help them to gain maybe 10,000 or even more this group member in WeChat group, and give a very high influence on that. And the people will they are not for her, right? They will just ask, how can I invest in that project, and how much can I invest in? And that time you can use some maybe ICO or syndicate approach to raise some money. I think it's a great way.
Okay, but still, like, what budget project should be like thinking of like a monthly budget for PR and community management in China? Like approximately some ideas about the figures.
Actually, it depends. But we think maybe 3 months from the very beginning to maybe your annual ICO. I think for 3 months it's needed for 500 Ethereum, I think, which equals to maybe 250. Sorry, 250 thousand US. Yeah. To promotion and for community management and for some. Not for the fundraising costs, only for the promotion and community management, and enter into some conference and some meetup, and maybe hold some activity for your fans. Yeah, I think that would be okay.
Good. So before we get the opportunity for the audience to ask questions, I have actually 2 remaining questions, but they're pretty big, and they are both about post-ICO. So you already mentioned that even when you make the initial investment decision, for you it's very important to understand the post-ICO strategy. So my first question is about exchanges. So like a lot of projects now, like smart projects, they start thinking about exchanges even before they publish white paper. Not so smart projects, they start thinking about exchanges after they complete their ICO. But my question is, what kind of like strategy for listing on the exchanges you would recommend? What are like maybe some current trends which you think are interesting to follow, like regarding exchanges?
It's another very tricky thing. For in China, I think, to be honest, it's much more mature than anywhere else all over the world. For now, Chinese big exchange, they always let a board or some agency investor to be its judgment board for some projects be listed on. For example, for Huobi, it has maybe more than 30 node or the investment agency in their system. And this 30 agency, they are all the super node of the Huobi exchange, which can judge if this project can be listed on the Huobi. And for that, the strategy must be you can turn to someone who can help you to be in touch with those projects and maybe to turn to them for some help or let them to invest in you, but you need to give some discount for them. And yeah, they will help you to be listed on some exchanges. That is one way. And for another, there will also be some exchange in China that let the individuals to judge whether a project can be listed on their exchange. There is a ranking system for the tickets that they win. But it's another thing that you need some costs for some technical system or technical mechanism to just let the individuals know your project and do some airdrop maybe directly into this exchange to let the exchange believe that you have a very great big group for the Chinese all over the world investors. That is the second thing, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. So another hot topic, I think it's market making, or like let's put it more general, like the management of token price after the token is listed on the exchange. So again, can you share some of your thoughts or insights? What should companies do and what should companies avoid in order to build trust among secondary investors, and also to avoid all this pump and dump strategy, which is normally associated with scam? So any ideas from insights from your side as well?
I think it's 100% needed. If you want to enter into the Chinese market, you need a market maker to hold the value if you listed on the secondary market. And maybe there will be different strategy for this market making. You need to have some discussion with them about your target for your price and how much you want to give it for your tokens be listing or just going to this exchange and maybe some costs. But I think it depends. I really recommend in the first week or first half a month for being listed on the exchange, you need to give some budget. That budget do not mean the Ethereum, maybe means your token, to give this market maker to do some to help it to be floated, and hope in the very beginning you can give a lot of good news, maybe be listed on the exchange, 1, 2, 3, 4 foreign, Chinese, maybe Russia exchange, and you have some cooperator be announced, and you have a very milestone for your community member to push it up. For if you do not do so, if the ICO the price crash down and you do not have a very great market maker, it can very, very hard for it up again. That means if your price down than the ICO price, and you can never go up.
So, in your opinion, what percentage of tokens should be reserved for market making activities? So, because I know that some companies do as little as 1 or 2%, and some reserve some crazy 30%. So, what's your idea?
1 or 2% is not enough, but it's detailed thing. It depends for different strategy for you, or which market you want, or which exchange you want to control. Some days for the price, maybe for example, some of the Chinese projects, they want to be firstly listed on some small exchange, and it can be easier for they control the price and to make it stable or a little increase. That will cost little for your token, and then be listed on some big exchange and do some market making. That will be a little easier. But if you want to give it a very exact amount of how much percentage for the token, I should say maybe 10–15%. That will be good. That will be good.
Reasonable.
But
Okay.
it also depends. It depends.
Okay, good. Before actually we start questions and answer session, I would like to do some improvisation. So I saw a few hands of the ICO projects. So does anybody want to come to this stage and do strictly 1 minute pitch, like so-called elevator pitch, and to have immediate feedback from Tony about the project? So any volunteers who like are brave enough just to come up the stage for the project? Yeah, please. So you have strictly 1 minute.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Hi, guys. Hi, all. I have a project. This name is CHP Bank. This project is this marketplace for sale 3D models. When some users upload his 3D models in our blockchain, he take some certificate about he first man who put his model in our blockchain. After that, another guys can buy this 3D model and have some equal certificate and use in his job. We use this 3D model for 3D printing or create some VR or IR programs, something like that. You understand or not? I can, yeah, again, because little bit shy and something like that.
A little hard.
Yeah. We create a marketplace for sale 3D models, 3D models for 3D printing or IR programs, VR or IR. For what blockchain? Blockchain for give some first certificate about you create this model, and now all people know you first guy who creates this model, and you have private certificate in this model. After that, another guy can buy a 3D model of building for use for create this building in some country for build. For use technology 3D printing, and this guy pay you give fiat, buy our tokens, and buy 3D model these users, and after use these models. After that, if another guy want upload equal model, we check with our algorithm. And after say, this is not your models, something like that.
What do you think, like, as an investor, can you give some ideas about what you just heard and maybe ask some questions, just for everybody to understand how it works?
One question: if your token be substituted by the BTC, Bitcoin, or the fiat money, do you think your system works?
Не особо.
Зачем нужны токены? Можно ли просто платить биткоинами за...
Yes, of course, but because user who uploads this model like an investor in our project and can't took some money, like dividends is first, and second, почему можно ли платить фиат? No. We not people didn't. First, if people use Bitcoin, we can't. Да, по-русски, короче, токен нужен для того, чтобы передать сертификат на использование данной модели. Если он платит биткоин, то мы не сможем передать сертификат.
So they need token in order to get the certificate from the owner of certificate to the one who uses the certificate, and it's not possible to do this payment with Bitcoin because otherwise they cannot control authenticity of their of the ownership rights within their system.
Yeah, it's what you want, but actually it can be substituted. If it's allowed, I think your system can also work. That is the question. I do not want any token can be such easily substituted by the fiat money or Bitcoin. That means your token can only be a trade things, not utility, not maybe security. Yeah, I do not think it works. For the individuals who are saying, okay, I can also, you only owns the blockchain technology, or only you can give it a project with the blockchain technology, but the token economy, that doesn't work. There's no use, I think.
Yeah, thank you. So please take a seat. У вас тоже проект? Нет, давайте уже еще. Это будет возможность дать. Sorry, I will speak Russian a little bit. Коллеги, я бы хотел дать возможность еще одному проекту вам выйти сюда с минутным питчем, и после этого мы начинаем сессию вопросов и ответов. Пожалуйста. Ну, единственное, лучше прям без больших презентаций, прямо минута. And in English. So if you can manage 1 minute and English, that's fine.
Можно сначала? Good morning. Well, getting started.
Okay.
I'm Alexander, this is Andrei. It's really a 1-minute video.
It is very difficult for an independent investor to protect movements for dozens of popular currencies and hundreds of currency pairs. Today's technologies of data processing and artificial intelligence allow us to do the impossible. DAR.ai platform proactively chooses crypto assets to buy and sell, sets up the trading robots, and monitors the results, constantly adjusting contracts. In addition to the artificial intelligence, our platform uses the wisdom of the crowd. Every day, our community of hundreds of crypto enthusiasts makes thousands of crypto assets price predictions. The best forecasters are awarded with tokens convertible to real money, and the platform gets forecasts. It uses them to set more effective margins for trading robots and control them with artificial intelligence. Therefore, it does not matter for us if the market is falling or growing. Our investors always receive a return on the capital.
Good. So what do you think of this? Have you understood?
I understand. Yeah, I have seen.
Let me give you maybe just a 2-minute introduction to that. So we are originally an investment fund, and we are trading assets transferred to us by the investors. And in the meantime, we developed a platform that uses the wisdom of the crowd, or public intelligence, as we also call it. There's been a research done by MIT in 1950s in the US, which proved very high accuracy on the so-called crowd forecasting, about 88%. And we are using the same algorithm and mathematics. So we are collecting forecasts from the community, basically on the daily changes of the pairs of the crypto coins. And we are using this data basically to improve the accuracy of the trading robots. So that's the product that we have.
Okay, so you only face you're only based on the token trading this strategy, or you will also issue a token that will connected with your profit, which means will you issue tokens for your platform?
Yeah, we have tokens, utility tokens so far.
Utility token.
And we pay to the forecasters for their forecasts with the tokens.
Oracles? It's like a system of oracles.
If the individual in your platform gain some profit, in which style you will allocate this profit for them? You will issue the tokens, give them, or you will give them Ethereum?
They accumulate tokens and then we transfer to their wallets as soon as they want.
Okay, that's reasonable. Yeah, and I seen similar projects in China for this, and we also want to enter into this technology, AI, and combine with the finance. But I think the core, the competition is for its technology, whether you can help your trader, the investor to gain profit, and how your token can be linked with this profit. I mean, in China, it's always a very innovative business model for this token, how it will be used. Maybe the profit can use to buy your tokens from the secondary market, and this is one way. And the second, you can.
That's exactly one way.
Yeah.
There's another way.
You can issue more tokens to your customer, and that means the future profit of your whole system. Yeah.
The final product we are making is intended to allow every single small investor to do a micro investment, put his Bitcoin or fiat money into the platform, which automatically manages the capitals using the wisdom of the crowd and AI. He gets profits in fiat currency or in cryptocurrency. And the token is a pure utility token, which is circulated to feed the forecasting community, which makes forecasts of the crypto assets price movements, which are in turn used by the investment machine to increase the return on their investments.
So utility token means the shares of your platform, right? It's similar. It means the rights for the future profit allocation.
It's yes and no. It means the both. It's the rights for future platform allocation and the rights to use some functions of the platform. For example, you, as a potential crypto investor, may allocate some amount of tokens and publish a poll on our platform about some project. Is it good or bad? Will its price go up or down? Our forecasting community will give you an answer, and you will use it for your own investment and trading decisions. You will need some tokens for that.
I think it's brilliant. Yeah, let's have a deep conversation after that.
Yeah, thank you, guys. So, and you see, this is actually how it works. This is give applause to the project because yeah, that's a good one. So, excellent. And now it's time for a questions and answers session. Artur, if I ask you to help me to give the mic to those people who want to start with the questions, and I saw the hand here. Just please introduce yourself and the name of your project in order so everybody understands.
Да, представьтесь, задавайте свой вопрос, если можете на английском, если нет, мы переведем.
Hello, my name is Leo. I represent Tuzumon Studio. We have the game. We have the blockchain game for traders. It is like visualization of trading process. For example, you and me, the trader. I choose Bitcoin. You choose Ethereum and Bitcoin, and upload this portfolio into the spaceship. It is a game like you see the space. You see the spaceships. And your spaceship, it is your portfolio, visualization of your portfolio. And those one, for example, we bid, you put 1 Ethereum, I put also 1 Ethereum, and you buy Bitcoin for 1 Ethereum, I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. It is our portfolio. And we play within 1 day. And those one, which portfolio will increase more, better, within this day, within this period, will take all funds. My one, Ethereum, and your also. And we, like a creator of the game, take 5% from all fund. The question is, we will not make ICO there. We will have token there, like experience token. It is like internal cryptocurrency for buying new ships, for buying new armor, and etc. But the question is how to raise money for this game.
you want to ask me
As
this
simple as
thing.
that.
I think it's what you need to think about it.
It is not like more than stuff to make ICO because everyone makes ICO.
Yeah.
And it is hard to receive their own money to the bakers. And we don't want to be like guys who just earn money, raise money, and do nothing. We create MVP of our project. We have prototype. We have everything, and you can be like a test guy who can play in this game. But we don't find the right model for fundraising because we need money for creating design and mechanical stuff into the game.
So your point is, you think it's very hard for fundraising in the traditional way, and you want to do the ICO, this fundraising thing for your project. For me, I just think your project, if without any blockchain, it may also work. So I do not know if your target for the token is only for the fundraising. If so, I think it's a wrong idea. For I do not think you need to earn more money, use your token, and to make up a business model with economy token or such things. Yeah. Maybe I cannot think this very deeply in 1 second for your business model to make money. Do you have the trampoline thing? Trampoline? Sorry, gambling. Sorry, gambling. You have the gambling game. Yeah, I've seen so many projects in China. They also want to be the game blockchain projects and has a gambling part. For its reasonable way from now to get some business model or get the flow, the money flow to back up your business. But it also means that there is so many projects in China that has the gambling thing and looks similar and do not have the core advantage for that. So yeah, I think it's very, very hard to say. I don't know if Russian projects, there is so many gambling cases in game industry, but if not, I think there will be some opportunity.
But it is more like where EA sport. It is more like sport than a game.
Окей, спасибо. Да. Давайте следующий вопрос.
Okay, so I represent $10 profit. Can you hear me? It's okay? Excuse me. Thank you. So I represent $10 Buffers, which is, I think, the biggest community around ICO, 200,000 people hardly involved in it. So I would be interested in maybe you can give some examples about really big WeChat communities and how people normally engage this type of groups.
I think there is some misunderstanding between foreign people for the WeChat. I think there's two things. First is WeChat group. The second is a WeChat official account. For WeChat official account, that gains the fans. It's like a self-media. And it can also post something for news or articles. But for WeChat group, it's only for the chatting. So I do not know what do you want me to recommend for you for bigger WeChat group or?
It's like let's take a Telegram channel. This is a big community of people following some news, interacting with channel owners, and it's like, let's say this week we are giving out Lamborghini to just one of members of our community, which raises huge impact on new people joining the channel, and it gives like a lot of impact on any ICO project that we are communicating in parallel. So this is like a media channel. And I was interested like around how this type of activity can be done in China, and if Chinese audience is interested to somehow be integrated in channels like this. Of course, as we are investing in ICOs ourselves, this is like opportunity to somehow, join efforts.
Actually, what it means is about the WeChat official account to posting or increase the influence for your project. And there is another restriction I need to tell every one of you, that WeChat group has the upper limit for 500 people. Not like Telegram. Telegram, I think, is 100,000, right? Yeah, Telegram group. So you need to have so many WeChat group, not in one single group for the community, for your community fans. If you want me to recommend some self-media in WeChat, there is some rating agency that has a great popularity in China. Some individual investor will believe in that. It's hard to translate in Russia. 大炮 rating and so DB rating, and this rating agency, and also some, maybe the Jinse Media, 8BTC, this big media also has their WeChat official account in this channel. So it's not like in Telegram that these two combined, but in WeChat, I think it's more like it's separated. Any other media, agency media, they can open their WeChat account, WeChat official account in WeChat and posting something and gathering their fans. Yeah, it's different.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Hey, Tony. My name is G. And the question is about all the market and the middleman on the Asian market at all. So I know the problem because I've traveled a lot between China, Japan, Korea, and something like that. And I have the middleman problem. So if I want to get the investments from the China, I cannot take it from the fund or from the syndicate. So every time is standing a middleman between me and you, something like that, and they're getting up to 15% of the total funds collected from you. Yeah. So it is a very big problem for ICO projects, because these guys are making some ICO project and getting no money at the finish. So how can you see we can challenge this problem? Because it's really big problem. That's why it's Asia for me. It's like a hidden region, because it's much better to talk to American guys with a Mexican passport, something like that, or take money from Europe, because it's much easier. I do not making any affiliate fee to these guys who's bringing me money. So just it's just cooperation. So how can we make this problem disappear from the radars? Thank you.
That means you find the wrong man, not me. Actually, 50% for the fundraising is a very unreasonable percent. I think in China, most of them are 5 to 10% if they are formal one. So I think you may find someone who positively give you some feedback or just find you and persuade you that they can do fundraising thing and they charge a very large fee, but actually they are informal. And let me take an example. It's like the different culture in different country, and there will be some misunderstanding, or it's hard to enter into another country. Yesterday, I just take a taxi in Russia, and I do not have I cannot combine the Visa card to the application of the taxi, and I give the taxi driver cash, and he charged about 1,500, and I gave him 2,000, and I think, okay, you can give me some charge, but he refused, and he said about in Russian language. I don't know what he speaks, but he, yeah. So it's different. In China, the taxi driver will definitely give you a charge. But in Russia, he refused, and we spoke about 2 minutes, and he takes the 2,000 away. So I'm a little angry about that. That means you find the different people, or you do not know what is the culture or what is the traditional thing in China. But if you find the right person, or if someone who is formal, like the investment agency, the formal investor agency, they will help you to do things, and with a very low, the fundraising thing, maybe 5%, 6%, or they will charge some low fees or low cost for their promotion thing. Yeah, that's it.
So okay, I just will link it to you when I need help in China. Okay?
Yeah, you need to persuade me first about your plan and project, and I'll help you.
Okay. Yeah.
But if your project is not good and you can only find the wrong man, the fee must be very high.
Yeah, sure. I understand. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you.
Еще вопросы? У нас еще буквально 5 минут, дальше мы можем перейти к завершающему кофе-брейку и к нетворкингу. Есть, да?
Hello.
Hello.
So the question is how do Chinese investors are looking at non-profit projects? I mean, for example, there is a team which wants to improve Bitcoin protocol, etc. And what are chances for such team to make fundraising in China?
I mean, non-profit.
Non-profit, yes.
If you want a non-profit project and do fundraising thing in China, is it controversial for that? I think maybe Russia government wants to help you. For Chinese government, we will definitely not help you. But for Hangzhou, I want also to take the example for Hangzhou government. They gave it a very huge incubator and some policy to support the new project all over the world to come in to do the blockchain, maybe technical innovation, such things. So if you can persuade the government, but they may not speak English, but if you can persuade them, they will help you to do so and also give you some money for the non-profit thing. But basically, I think it's out of our aspects or our this situation. For if we invest in, we want to make profit, that is normal. So yeah, that's hard.
Next question.
My question is about tokenomic. There is some decision now about utility and security tokens, and you were talking about the like maybe combined or hybrid model. And what model now works more better, and what do you prefer?
Prefer what?
Prefer. What token model is now the best one? The most profitable, I know, the most.
I think the different style of token must be combined with the different situation. And as I mentioned before, for Chinese guys, there's no such difference between the utility and the security token. If you go to China, even some agency investor, if you put forward this idea, they will just be confused. What is the utility token? What is the security token? For we do not have such a sort for that. So I think if you want to introduce your project into China, the better is that you can both to do that thing. It has the utility, this function, and maybe some security or other financial the profit from that. And if you want to separate it, I think for me, utility is more important for your token economy. For blockchain projects, for now, hardly of them can make very huge profit. But if the users that they think your project can give them a very useful function, they will also invest in your token for that. I think it's important. For they do not care the profit from the security token, maybe give some money for them, but they care about the token, the value increase, how much people buys in, and how much people leaves.
Okay, thank you.
Good, thank you very much. So we are now coming to an end. We will be here with Tony for another 20 to 25 minutes. So if you have some private questions, do not hesitate to approach him. And just before we finish, Tony, can I ask you to do like a 1 minute recap of our discussion? So did you find it like interesting? So maybe some conclusion, some words in the conclusion you would like to make for the audience.
Actually, for yesterday, I also have some meetups and with Russian people. I think it's really a gap between China and Russia. Maybe not Russia, that somewhere else of the world. For China has a really, really fast increasing the speed and the volume for the cryptocurrency, the market. I think maybe 1 week in China, the token, the crypto industry, it equals to maybe 2 weeks development elsewhere. So, and China, whatever the business model, the volume, the amount is really bigger than anywhere else. So it means the potential, it means the potential for Russia. And I think I will definitely help you if you have a good project. And my point is that I will not only invest in you, but do the advisory things. That means a real advisory thing, not only be put on your website, but help you to give you some advice, to help you to find the best channel, the best approach in China, and let you to know more things in China about how to do the blockchain project. That is.
Thank you very much. So please give a big applause to Tony. Tony, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Да, на этом официальная часть закончена. Всем спасибо большое за то, что пришли. Вас ждут кофе, чай и печеньки, как и обещал. И, естественно, нетворкинг.